Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's the 22nd day of October, which means our sculpt for the day was Enchanted Mirror. This is what I came up with. It's just real quick. The main thing about this is we can use sculpted and validated objects to do rotational copies now. So I'm going to go through all that. If you guys haven't gone and downloaded the new version of 1.66, go do it so then you can follow along with everything I'm doing today. Okay, I'm going to put up the rest of the prompt list now. For anybody just joining us, you can see I've divided my sculpting challenge into weeks, and we are in our last full week. So good job to everybody that's been following along. Hey, with that quick intro out of the way, let's go grab your iPad or other device. Let's go make an enchanted mirror. Okay, for the enchanted mirror, we're just going to get rid of this. I'm going to keep it pretty simple because this one's going to be a little bit more about using the rotate or the rotational copy aspects now that everything has changed. So I'm going to keep it round, kind of on purpose. That way we can kind of see how the rotate copy stuff works here a little bit differently. Okay, come in here, subdivide it, validate it. Now for the mirror, I'm going to make the silver part in the back. So we'll come down here and just do the silver and the materials. Bring the roughness and metalness all the way down. Or no, sorry, metalness all the way up. Paint all. And now we have the mirror surface. Just kind of hard to catch just right. And that still has a little roughness. I must have had a little, let's try that. No, that's as good as it's going to get, I guess. Oh, that's why. Let's remesh it. And that should help a little bit anyway. All right. The next thing, I'm going to add a sphere, and we'll just cut this in half, and we need to subdivide it, validate it. I'm going to trim it with a rectangle and just cut it roughly in half. We just want it in front of the silvered part. Use the gizmo, squeeze it in, something like that. And I'm going to leave it, convex a bit. And now to make this clear, really, I'm sure you guys have figured this out by now. Paint it all with white all the way up in the corner. No roughness, no metalness, paint all. Come up with the materials menu, go to refraction, and now you have a clear section over the top, because if we turn the other one off, you'll see you can see all the way through it. Now, if we go to the materials, make sure we're on the right one, yes. Materials, you can change the index for refraction, how shiny it is, so we'll go all the way up on the shininess. And you can paint glossy as well, and that'll help. Alright, so let's go in and turn this back on. Now for this, I think, we'll just do something pretty simple. So I'm just going to put our key in here. So we'll go, we had the key from a couple weeks ago. We'll add that to the scene. Obviously that's, a little on the large side. So bring it a little bit smaller. And just have it like the mirror is seeing the key. And we just need to put it in the mirror, which it looks like it's good right now already. Yep. So put that in the mirror. Now we'll light that a little bit in a few minutes, but let's put something around the edge of this. Oops, I'm on the wrong one. I want to be on. All right, so we need to name these. Let's name each one of these. So this one is that one's the glass. And this one is the mirror. We'll just do it that way so it's, kind of which one is which. Okay, so now if you wanted to keep these all together, like I've shown you guys before in the last one, you can just tap it and connect these, and you can connect it there or you can bring it down. But for this case, I think we're just going to leave them separate for now. Okay, now that's just kind of a quick overview how the menu works. Next thing, I'm going to add a torus. We'll just use that for the, oops, not what I meant to do. Grab that one, there we go. And we'll just use this for the mirror frame. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I think what I'll do is subdivide that, validate it. Now the cool thing about this, before, like I've said in the last video, if you guys saw the one I put up yesterday about being able to do rotational copy, now is way easier because it's actually in here in this menu. But first, what I'm going to do, something that you couldn't do before very easily. You could, but it was a lot of manual work. All right, so we're going to bring this up on the top, and I'm just going to select mask a rectangle portion of this. And that doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to kind of get something going, and we'll just do one just so you can see how you can make more copies. Now this, obviously you can rotate, copy and rotate this if you wanted. It's so much easier. So now take the select mask and we'll unmask this area. All right, so now we have this one, and go up to the menu, extract. Now if we go in here, we have our extract mirror, and this will do the frame. Now, like I've said before, it's good to stay organized if you can. It starts getting pretty convoluted really quick. Okay, now the cool thing about the new rotation and copy is that you can do it on anything that's been validated, which before you could never do. So let's hope I want to be in the trim menu. Trim. And click on this for the main menu, and we'll do like 5-ish. Go to the cool, oops, not the one I wanted. Go to line. There we go. More like that. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this. We're going to go to select mask, and you can do it that way, or you can just drag out here and it'll clear your mask for you. Okay, Gizmo, click on this one. All right, so the cool thing about this is we already got an extract, and that would already be something you couldn't do. I must have had a mirrored thing going on right there. Oh, it's because it's in the glass. That's what it is. Looks really strange. Let's solo it then. That'll be easier to see. And I'm going to use the flatten brush and just kind of knock that edge down just a little bit so it's a little rounder. It doesn't have to be anything too special. Let me clean it up a little bit more. A little too much. All right. Use the smooth. All right, and I'm going to paint this just so I can see it a little bit better. There. That didn't really help. Let me give it something so I can see. There we go. That's better. All right, so that's fine. Next thing I'm going to do is clone that and bring it in. Just make a copy of it real quick. Clone it. Gizmo. All right, so this is something you guys are going to see. This is always going to want to snap to the origin, even if it's over here. So just hit your pivot, hit reset, and generally, not always, it will bring itself to the center of that. Hit your pivot again. Now I can shrink, clone it. And I can shrink it, stretch it out. And I just want to do kind of like a detail like that. And I really should have changed that again so I could see it. And change the environment so I can brighten or just brighten it up. There we go. There, that looks pretty good. I like that. All right, so we'll go with that. And like I said, this is more about just learning how this new stuff works. Okay, so we have these two extrusions, and I'm gonna voxel merge these together, and let's 500 and merge them. Okay, now this is something that's been sculpted on, it's an extraction, it's been copied and or cloned. I mean, normally this would never work like you wanted, but now we can just, I'm going to rename this detail real quick. Okay, now to make this go around, it's all your, instead of being over here like it used to be kind of in there and everything, now it's all right here in your repeater menu. So you have mirror, like that would kind of normally work like you would normally have. Curve, I haven't quite figured out what that does yet. Array is cool because then you can make like a lattice work out of this, but we're going to do radial right now. Now as soon as you hit that, it adds into your menu and it connects. This detail is now a child of the radial parent. So it's pretty cool because if you do something to this, and you can see we already have like 2 going on right now, so, or 4. So you just change to which one you want, and this one gives your 4. You can change your number, say 5. You get 5 on there. If you want 6, you know, so on and so forth. The max, like it was before, is going to be 32. That's the max. So you can have something like that going on if you want. So all these different things are options for you. Now, since we're just doing something kind of quick, maybe I'll just leave it just like that and we'll just call that good for this time around, just so you can kind of see how the radial stuff works. Now, if you were to go back to this, and let's change the number down to, say, you know, well, let's go 7. So now we have a mirror with 7 on it. Just kind of an odd number. That's pretty cool. So then you can also rotate it just like you could before. So you can rotate this around. So you wanted the top one to be at the center. All right. Expand, do all the different things you want to do on here. Super, super cool now. And this is all together, so you can clone this whole thing and make another set. So 32 isn't your max, because if you did, you could do the 32, you could do the 32, another 32, so you got 64. You know, just rotate the next one around, whatever you want to do. The coolest thing I just want to show you is that you can now do it with sculpted validated objects, which is super cool. All right, so I think we will paint all of those. Let's paint those like a copper. And then this one we'll paint gold. Just something really quick, nothing too crazy. All right, now the last part of this, now that we've kind of seen all that, which is super cool, let's put a point light in there. I'm going to change the glass color to a little bit different color too, which will help. Not the glass, the mirror, I mean. Let's see, it needs to be the silver. No roughness. I want to go kind of a green color. So that'll give it something kind of in the background. And then the next thing we'll do is put a point light right on the key. Now that's the other thing I want to show you real quick. We add a light. You can add it directly from here because you normally had to go in here, add a light. You don't have to anymore. You can do it all from the scene menu. So I want a point light. So you can just add it right out of there and it puts it right in here for you. There's a couple other cool things about this now. I'll show you in just a second. Get this pointed where I want. Put it right on the key. Now let's turn the environment off so you can see. All right, so we have the point light in there and obviously it's dim. Let's bring this up to a green of some kind, which looks more like an enchanted mirror. And bring the intensity up a bit so you can make it glow if you want. Now, just kind of bring it up on the key there. Now we're going to turn the environment back on. This just kind of helps you set your scene for your mirror. We'll turn the environment back on. We're going to go to a dark environment and bring the intensity way down. Let's turn the grid off because that's distracting. Okay, so I think that's a pretty cool enchanted mirror. Now, if you can see, you have your light icon right there. Now, if you don't want that and you want it to disappear if you're not touching the light, because if you change to something else, your light icon will still be there. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get something else that, I don't have anything else that will, in the scene where you can see it very well. But down here, you can turn your light icons on and off. You'll see it right there, the green. And it's cool because that icon is going to tell you what color that light is as well, which I've gone over in some of the earlier videos, but just to kind of show you guys how that works. We turn this off, so that's looking pretty good. Now, obviously we have that light in the background in there, so we can rotate it out of there, get it out of the way if we want. Bring the intensity up, and like I said, you have the light icon. You can turn that off and get it out of your way. Now we can bring the exposure up on this a bit. And for that, I think the point light, because it's pointed right there, so if we move that a little bit, just move it over where it's behind the key, that'll look better. It's not actually behind the key, it's in front of it, but that's fine right there. And then we could add another spot and bring this one up. Looks pretty good. Here and down. And you can also have these have the light static, or you can have them follow the camera, whatever you want. Decrease this, and then let's bring the intensity up. Probably not quite that much. This is just good so you have a little bit of a glow. Change that to maybe more of an orange cinematic look. And that looks pretty good. You get face on. You have nothing selected, 4 fingers, tap the screen, and now you can get your view. Hey, if you guys are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next one. Alright, thanks.